because of the course of events this week. Wow, how many times am I going to say that today? Hello and welcome to session 81 of this channel. My name is Brianna and I am the dyer designer and human behind The Little Wolf Knits and this YouTube channel. And I am so glad to be here with you today. It is much later in the week than I usually record, which you will understand when you hear about the course of events that happened this week if you stuck around until the life section later. But it is 4 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon. I usually record Tuesday morning. So we're getting this in because it was the only time that I could because of what's happened. So anyway, we are here. I'm not wearing anything knitted. I don't really have too much admin to say. We're going to keep this short and sweet today. So let's just jump into what I've finished. This week was a bit unexpected. The course of events this week was not as expected. So nothing really went to plan. I didn't work on anything I thought I was going to work on, but that means I finished something I wasn't expecting to finish, but I'm very glad that I did. I was able to finish. I don't even think I had started the second one yet, and maybe was at the heel turn, or I think I was at the foot. I think I was right here on my first sock, and I was like, maybe I'll get through both heel turns. Well, I did, and then I also finished the socks, and these are the cozyknitter 2024 Advent 24 stripe Advent skein, and I made a pair of socks for my sister. I do this every year. I usually do this in January using the leftovers for my socks. So these skeins, they come with 250-gram skeins. It runs through 24 stripes twice. I use one repeat for my socks and one repeat for her socks. I work them both toe up so that I just stop them whenever I stop them. And usually I do this in January. However, I feel like I've said this before. I was working on my jelly roll blanket this January, so I didn't get around to these, but they are now finished. And I am still on track for my one gift make a month. I think in January, I worked on this, which was a gift for myself. I think I also worked on a pair of socks for Michael. In February, I worked on a hat for Michael. In March, I worked on and finished these socks for my sister for this coming Christmas. And now we are in April, and I will have a new gift knit to work on during this month. But for now, March is done, socks are done, not too much to say. Work them on Magic Loop, Chiagu, US 1s, what I always do. I decided not to do a contrasting heel here because I know she doesn't like her socks super tall. So I wanted to use all of the stripes. And I realized while I was making these, I didn't realize this the first go around, but there's sort of like this striping fadey thing that happens, and I didn't realize how continuous it is from where it starts, because this is what happens if you follow it all the way through both socks. Like, it ends with blue, and that could easily be the first color of the rest of it. Anyway, that's kind of cool. I guess if you wanted to use more than one repeat for your socks, it would have just continued, which is cool. But I didn't have to. She is a size 8 foot, I think. So all done. I'm going to snip these ends. They're already blocked. And I'm going to put these aside for Christmas time. That is the only thing that I finished this week because it was the only thing that I actually had with me for a lot of the week. And the only thing that I really had the capacity to knit on given the circumstances of the week. Say it again. Can I just say it? I'm just going to keep saying it. But I do have some other whips. I didn't work on one actually at all, which was very unexpected, but I have a good reason. And I started a new whip that I wasn't planning to start until one of these things was done, which was this, which also wasn't what I expected. So let's just talk about what else I've been working on. Starting with the whip that you've seen already in my Songbird handmade bag, I have my handspun yarn using my akarayarn solstice countdown. This is the first skein I'm still working away with, and I have another skein in here. I'm not even going to take it out, but I am working on a DRK everyday sweater for my mom, and it is beautiful. And it looks exactly the same as last week because I have not knit, I don't think, an inch on it. Maybe I did like the day I filmed, but I don't believe, oh. Did I? Oh, maybe I worked like an inch. Here's where I was last time, and this is the work that got done, I think last Wednesday. But it is looking beautiful. I talked about last week, this yarn is finer than what is recommended in the pattern. So I'm working it at a different gauge and have chosen the third size, which will get me closer to the measurements of the second size with the gauge of this yarn. It's beautiful. I was anticipating, I worked 1 inch past the pattern as written. I should actually measure this, because it's been a while and I want to double check. Learning from my friend Natalie's mistakes. Double check while you can, because don't assume and then have to go back and try and fix something, especially with handspun yarn that's in a fractal. So, okay, I worked to about 1 inch farther than the pattern suggested. However, my mom would like some additional length on the sweater. So my plan is to work 1 more inch, and then she hasn't been able to try it on because of the course of events of this week, which I will tell you about. But my plan was to have her try it on, and or she has another sweater she really likes the fit of that I'm thinking I could measure the body or the total length of that sweater, figure out what the body length would be, and figure out how long I want to knit this in order to match that sweater length. So ideally she tries it on, and I also can measure her other sweater. Worst case scenario, I go off the other sweater and it should be fine. But the plan is to resume knitting on this one this week, finish up the body because of the way the yarn is fading. I think I would like to pick it up where there's some of this bluey here, and I think the plan is to do a little bit on this sleeve, do a little bit on this sleeve, this sleeve, this sleeve, this sleeve, this sleeve, back and forth, so that I get similar matching sleeves, where I'll do some of this turquoisey blue on one, and then the other continue into about halfway into the next color, then switch to the other, just to keep them similar, because this skein changes a lot. So if one of my sleeves, if I just did one at a time, I'd go from like turquoise to this green and then green to this tan, and they would look totally different. I'm going to double check with my mom. I don't think she would like that. So yeah, that's what the plan will be, but it looks beautiful. It's folded right now because it's been in this bag for quite a while without being touched. So that is whip number 1. Whip number 2 is something you have not seen yet, at least in any sort of working form. You have seen me wind up the yarn, but it is now in a bag from Mrs. Brown's Bags. You can see the tag right there. And inside, I have a skein of One Short Day on my sunfish base. It is this beautiful emerald green that was part of the Wicked collection, which is now unavailable. However, it will be back. It will be back soon enough, so don't be upset. There might even be some more colors when it comes back for Wicked 2.0. But I started a new design yesterday and worked the entire back panel. This is going to be a tank top version of my skater dress that's currently in testing. So right now I have my 6F skater dress, which is in testing for May. It is a pattern that will come out in May. However, the fit of it is so nice. I don't have a lower scoop neck. The rest of my tanks are pretty crew neck, high neck, mock neck. And all of the testers were like, Bree, this is so amazing. We need a tank top version. Can we make it happen? I was like, yeah. My plan was actually to turn this into a tank top. I just figured it would be maybe for next summer. But the excitement that everyone is showing for this had me say, you know what? I'm going to do it this summer. I'm going to push another summer design to next year. And we're going to make it happen. So back panel is done in just one movie's worth of knitting. And I'm ready to pick up the front left and then front right, create the neckline and join. And this should be done, honestly, probably today, because with it being a lower scoop neck, there's not that much knitting that needs to happen. And it will be joined in the round for the body very soon. My hope and my plan would be to finish this by next week. It will be done within a week. By Wednesday. Will it be done before I film? Hopefully earlier in the week next week. I don't know, but I think it would be a fun little challenge. However, I don't want to neglect my mom's sweater, so we'll see. But that is all that I've been working on. I did bring my drop spindle home to New Jersey with me, but I did not get any work on it for a good reason this time. I know, say it with me. Due to the course of events of this week. But I'll talk about that in a little. I haven't done any spinning. I'm really, really itching to get something on the wheel, and I think it might be coming in the next week or two once I have a little bit more time at home. But since that's all I'm working on, I do have one thing, a skein of yarn that I've caked up for myself, a skein of my renewal colorway from the Wolfpack collection on my schooner base on the boucle that I'm going to use to make a North Ave tank in a smaller size. I think it'll be really, really nice for spring and summer and like transitional into the fall. So I dyed that up and I am about to cake it up today just to have with me for whenever one of these projects is done so that I can cast on a second one. Probably next week, but I have the yarn ready for when I need it. Other than that, let's chat about what's in the shop. It is a new month around here, which means we have some new yarn in the shop, and I'm super excited about it. If you've been following, you will know that we are doing a series of Unfortunate Events Inspired Club this year. Every single month, the entire year, I don't know why I say me, it's just me here. Sometimes I get emails that are like, hey team, I'm like, actually it's just me, I do everything. But I am dyeing colorways inspired by each of the series of Unfortunate Events books and sending them out to everyone who's a part of the club or purchasing that month. And then a bunch of us have been reading them along month by month and having a little book club in my membership. A lot of people who've never read them before, a handful of people who read them when they were younger and now are going back and reminiscing and all of the nostalgic goodness. But it's April. It's a new month, so that means we have a new colorway. The wide window was for March, the third book. It is out the door. All of the orders for the wide window are now dyed and will be on their way to you as soon as they're dry. And now we enter April, which is the fourth month, and the fourth book, which is The Miserable Mill. And this colorway is so good. It's like springy vibes. It's so fun. Oh, it's so good, and it actually fades really well. So I was not imagining. I imagined that all of these would be cohesive and go together well because they all have this golden-y sort of tan in it to some extent. But Reptile Room had this red and green, faded into the green of March with the wide window, which was green and purple, and now we have a purple and this like seafoamy, sagey, robin's egg green. And these really fun speckles, and it's just beautiful. I'm really excited about it, like really excited. Yeah. So this is the Miserable Mill. It is available now through the end of April. So if you want to join us, you could head over and just grab this colorway on any base in any quantity. Or if you're just hearing about the club and you want to join us, you can also sign up for a subscription. It doesn't auto charge you. It just sends you an email every month with an invoice securing your spot, so you can just check out with your saved info if you want, and then get your skein or skeins every single month. Lots of people are making blankets, shawls, some really fun projects that are happening with these. Some people I see are collecting fiber, and I'm really curious to see what they're going to do, if they're going to spin each skein individually and then use them all together, if they're going to create some sort of giant fractal yarn and use that for a blanket or something large. I don't know, but I'm really excited to see what they do. I think I'm going to be doing a blanket, maybe using yarn, unless I could spin it, and that would be really fun too, but we'll see. I have so much fiber. I am running out of space for it, so we'll see when we get there. That's not on my radar for any time soon. But the Miserable Mill is in the shop and available for you to grab. We also still have our Moana inspired Island Girl countdown that is meant to be open this coming July. It's our second year of doing this. You can certainly grab one even if you didn't grab the first year. And if you did grab the first year and you haven't used it yet, I anticipate that this palette will coordinate really well. With the first year, I think I'm planning to use them together for some sort of blanket, maybe a jelly roll, maybe a DK weight jelly roll, maybe a cozy comfort throw. We'll see. I'm really, really excited about this one, but you can still grab it through the month of April because I'm going to start dyeing those come May so they can ship out in June and get to you before we open them together every day in the month of July. We also still have our Wolfpack collection, all 13 colorways that are still in the shop. I'm dyeing them as we go. I have finished one colorway completely, Snowdrift, and I'm in the process of finishing Wintering, which is another tonal. And then there are two more colorways that I'm planning to dye up, Prowl and Wintering, after this. A lot of the variegateds are not getting much love, which is okay. I just think people are really, really sleeping on them. If you change your mind, you can grab those through the end of this month as well. Last but not least, I'll just mention that I am having some trunk shows for New Jersey Wool Walk Thursday, April 24th, I believe, Friday, April 25th, and Saturday, April 26th. I think it's definitely Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Those might be the wrong dates. But I'm going to be at Mother Knitter in Red Bank on Thursday. I'm going to be at Grace and Pearl in Avon by the Sea on Friday. And I'm going to be at the Creative Knot in Ocean Grove on Saturday. I will have all of our cookie jar collection colorways there, all of the variegateds, all of the tonals. I'm going to be bringing some fingering weight, some DK weight, a lot of boucle, more than I have in the past. So I'm hoping people are excited about that. Some mini skein sets, a little bit of Surrey, especially tonals, and then some sock blanks. So I think it'll be a really fun time. If you're in the area, definitely come check out New Jersey Wool Walk. If you come see me on any of those days, definitely say hi. I would love to see you. And I just wanted to mention, they're not in the shop yet, but I've had some people ask me. I am planning on doing an October countdown this year. It will probably be Beetlejuice 2. So again, if you got Beetlejuice 1 last year, this could be a second chance to join in on the fun and have even more yarn to make a really giant cohesive project based on both Beetlejuice movies. And I am doing a December countdown again this year. It will be year 5 of our Schitt's Creek inspired countdown. So this year, and then I believe year 6 is the final year. But I know I tend to put those up a little bit later than other people do, so I just wanted to let you know they are coming. They will be in the shop. October will probably be in the shop in the next month, maybe in May. And then December will definitely be in the shop, probably in June. So yeah, if you're looking for those, do not worry. They will be available very soon. They don't usually sell out, so you don't have to stress about missing out on those. As long as you pay attention to my Instagram and my YouTube and my newsletter, if you're not on there already, you should hear lots of different ways that those are available. That's all that I have to talk about as far as what's in the shop. So let's just talk about these circumstances of the week that I've been talking about the entire time. Basically, long story short, I spent the week in the hospital. Not for me, luckily, knock on wood. But I went home last Wednesday night. I think I talked to you Wednesday morning. I ended up going home last Wednesday night, taking care of Mom. She was supposed to have her last day of treatment on Thursday. She ended up having that initially postponed and then canceled. She was having a really, really rough time. She spiked a fever. She was neutropenic, so her white blood cell count was really low. Her red cell count, her hemoglobin, her platelets were all really low. She spiked a fever, so we took her into the hospital Thursday afternoon after a pretty rough day with doctors on Thursday. And I guess I thought it was going to be a quick stay, but she's still at the hospital. So she spent a week in the hospital. I was with her from Thursday to Tuesday. I pretty much was there the entire time. I slept in the hospital. They have like a reclining chair kind of next to the bed. That's where I slept. And I went home maybe for like 2 hours to nap on Friday because I did not sleep at all on Thursday because we were in the emergency room and there wasn't a recliner. It was just a plastic chair. And then Saturday I went home to shower and then came back. So it, just talking about it, I'm gonna yawn. It has really been exhausting, stressful, exhausting. If anybody has taken care of a family member or a loved one in this way, you definitely know it's a really wild experience. I think I realized sometime on Friday afternoon that I hadn't eaten since Wednesday night. And I think just the adrenaline and the stress and the like needing to be in go mode of the situation had me, doing things I never thought I would do. I wasn't eating, I wasn't drinking, I wasn't going to the bathroom. You're just in go mode where you have to get all these things done. I know I'm going to crash. I know that because that's what happens when you don't take care of yourself. I have eaten, I have drank water, not as much as I should. I have showered. I have gone to the bathroom. Sleep was really hard. Again, just like waking up with her in pain and having to help her in the bathroom. Being interrupted feels like every hour or 2 hours by the nurses or nursing aides trying to get vitals, phlebotomists trying to get blood. Like we were up at least every 2 hours being woken up. And then in between she was waking up in pain. So I imagine this is what it's like to be a parent. Not a lot of sleep for many days on end. I got a bunch of sores in my mouth. I think probably from not sleeping or eating. Can't tell you the last time I had a vegetable. Not drinking enough water. So definitely a lot of stress on my body. She's still in the hospital. I'm back in Pennsylvania. That was a very hard thing. She's doing much better. Her counts are much better. She's no longer neutropenic. Her platelets are really low still, but they're coming up slowly. She had to get a blood transfusion. But she's still in the hospital because her potassium is really low, and so that's causing digestive issues, and that's causing pain. And then the digestive issues are exacerbating the potassium, and it's a vicious cycle. So she is still there. Hopefully will be released tomorrow. They technically were like, look, we could send you home, but our recommendation is to stay and get your numbers figured out. So she's been a good patient. She's doing everything that she can to take care of herself, and following her recommendations from her providers. So she's there tonight. I am going back. My plan was to go back later tonight, but since there's only one chair in the room, her boyfriend had been sleeping in like a plastic straight, a sitting up chair for all of the nights because he didn't want to leave her, and she wanted me to stay to help her in the bathroom. So it wasn't like I could leave and then he could have the chair. She wanted me there. He wanted to be there with her. So now that she's a little bit better and doesn't need as much support, I'm not going to go back tonight because I don't want to kick him out of put him back in a chair. That's really uncomfortable to sleep in. My mom said she's okay. So my plan is to go back really early in the morning. I'm going to be with her the end of this week since I was able to get a lot of work done. A lot of yarn dyed while I was home yesterday and today. And I will take care of her for the rest of the week. And hopefully she's on the mend. Treatment is completely done. So really at this point, we're just working on healing, and hopefully every single day from this point forward gets better and better. They said the first week or two after treatment would be the roughest, and they were definitely right since she was in the hospital. But we're hoping again that every single day gets a little bit better. But, yeah, that's all that's going on with Mom. Reading, I can't even remember what I was reading. Just reading a little bit here and there, whatever book I have. Maybe a Frida McFadden. I can't even tell you what I was reading. That's what I have to say about that. I have been watching, not that much actually. I did a lot of catching up on YouTube when I could. I haven't had that much time, really. It's been a lot of taking care of Mom, whatever's on in the hospital TV. We started watching Apple Cider Vinegar. We only got through like half an episode before we were interrupted. We also watched one episode of Fool Me Once, which is a show based on a Harlan Coben book that we all read. I've been watching a little bit of Jersey Shore Family Vacation season 6 the last day or two while I'm dyeing yarn. So yeah, I haven't been doing too much watching. We haven't been doing too much reading. Michael and I did mask up and go to the movies last night. It was a pretty empty theater. We saw Death of a Unicorn. I liked it. I guess I didn't really have high expectations, but I thought it was good. There are a lot of movies right now that are in the movie theaters that we want to see. So it's really juggling. Well, what time works the best for us? Let's go see that one. Let's make sure it's not super crowded theater. So hopefully we could see a few more movies in the next little bit here. I know Working Man is out. I know The Woman in the Yard is out, and I really want to see that. We wanted to see Locke and Ash, but they're both out of theaters already. So there was just a lot coming out that is taking all of the movie times, I guess. So hopefully this weekend, Mom's feeling a little better. Maybe she can go to a movie. Even if she can't go to a movie, maybe we can sneak out and go to a movie. Yeah, and we just keep our fingers crossed that everything moves in the right direction. We get some knitting done, we get some spinning done, and we get to spend some time together. So that's the plan for the next week. I hope you are taking care of yourselves, and I hope that you are taking care of each other. Until next time, bye.